Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Push the Point. It's been a little while, and I thought, well, I've got quite a lot of good pro player friends, but I always do love talking to you guys because you're always good banter, and you're both quite accomplished gravy bone players, especially you, Jacob. Bartosz just jumps on the bandwagon and does Bartosz things and does really well.
Only third.
Yeah, only third. But
Only third.
I wanted to bring you guys on to talk about the recently, very literally as we were recording yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. The announcement of the ban and restricted announcements, and just in general how Copenhagen went, how you think. And also the worlds, like the change in Living Legend for the top 8 stuff. And I know that's going to be only really interesting to the people that make top 8, but I wanted to get your opinions as well on that it doesn't have draft. Ooh, but we'll kick this off. I'll start with you, Jacob. Well done as well. And I did say this in my Fab Den special where we just recorded in my garden that Kansas City was playing while we were all recording, and I said in there, it doesn't really matter. Jacob will probably be in the final anyway, and and you were. I was like,
it was a good call.
That was yeah. Don't doubt you. Well done for coming runner up for both events, and you've been on a tear. You've literally started to get, we didn't think that a challenging Brody Spurlock for the World Player of the Year was possible. And now you've made it quite possible. How are you doing anyway?
Good. Yeah, I've been having a really good time. Finished my degree and had a lot more free time to play Fab. So
nice. Yeah. Well done. So is it true that Europe is actually harder than the rest? Because obviously, you get second everywhere else, and then you come Europe, and it to be
second in Auckland, second in Kansas.
Europe, and you're like, time to go to
don't even make top 32 Copenhagen. So I think that's as a statistician and data scientist, I can only conclude from this robust and deep sample size that Europe best region.
Yeah,
them's the facts.
But well done. What's that? You played incredibly well. Gravy Bones, is that busted? Yeah. And you did very well.
Well,
so.
And Katsu, I guess.
And Katsu, yeah.
Well, in yellow Katsu, you can't doubt it. We need more yellows than reds and blues combined. It's like your cards are so versatile. How can they go wrong?
Very true. Bartosz, how are you doing? And again, Bartosz, well done for getting into the semi-finals of Copenhagen, again with Gravy Bones, which I'm sure if you've seen the ban and restriction announcements, I'd love to get you guys' opinion, but I hope you had your fun drawing cards all day long.
We had some time to have fun, but now it's getting pretty tricky.
Yeah, and it's so much things to talk about, but we'll start off ban and restricted announcements. So Bartosz, what is your thoughts overall of it, and is there anything specific that you want to sort of dig in on?
I like the bans overall. I'm slightly concerned with Germinate getting unbanned after Gravy getting hit so hard.
Right.
Because it might be Florian terrorizing PQ season all over again.
Okay.
As we had it right before the high seas season.
Why is that? So I'll be you, viewer, that probably thinks, that's cool. Germinate's back. They've also hit Scepter. It's great. There's lots of things have changed since then. Why is Germinate coming back? Probably to you a bit of an issue.
Well, to be honest, all the decks that were countering, like the metagame shifted into Sleepy, Syndra, and Gravy triangle. Whenever the Earth heroes got out of the picture because of Gravy Bones. So now with Gravy Bones being gone, Earth heroes can flourish again. and take over the metagame. And I think what Florian missed was an additional 3-block blue card that's also really efficient in the end games against all the strategies that would like to prolong the game against you and make your like tear through your threads. So like wait out Fellings of the Crown, Plow Hunters, etc. And then your end game as a Florian is pretty bad because all of your blues are bad. Like there are no good blues in Florian, especially whenever Germinate was gone. And now we got it back. That's an additional 3-block Earth card that the deck is missing because there are no more 3-block blues other than Everbloom Live and Autumn's Touch.
Yeah.
So it's gonna make the deck more consistent overall, and also make it unable for decks to get into the end game and try to set up, because you also have your way to set up and punish whenever they would try to make it so that you can't convert your hand. So take an off turn.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
If they let you do that, you can play Germinate even if you have only. If you have 3 blues and you pitch X4, creating, how much is it? 5, getting 5 life, creating 10 rune chance, or creating a lot of embodiments of Earth, no one can push through that. And you can do the broken thing with Everbloom Live, bringing back the Germinate again into your deck. I don't think that's needed into any of the matchups we will have.
Yeah, Jacob, what's your thoughts?
It just means no one can go bigger or later than you. There's interesting, or that like could be interesting stuff in this format with decks competing to kind of be the most numbersy or degenerate with stuff like Switchblade Dory or even just straight Decimated Dory. But there's just none of those decks are gonna get through 6 Germinates. Like if Florian's endgame can just be alternating turns of Arsenal Germinate, play an Everbloom, get a Germinate, and then like 4-card Germinate. Like no one can. So you like have the best over the top endgame, but then also you're like pretty reasonable into the fast decks in a way that often the like sometimes I feel like the meta is like a series of like more degenerately like late game decks.
Got ya.
Where it's like there'll be the Syndra, and then there'll be, I don't know, like the like slightly slower deck that beats Syndra, and then you'll come up, which is maybe like an assassin, and then you'll have then like a guardian that's like, assassin, I'm even blockier than you, and then you'll have like Scepter Florian in the meta before Gravy, then came along and was like, but guardian, I'm even slower than you. But I think we might go into a format where Florian is like the end of that chain without having to compromise too much on the aggro deck matchup in a way that classically, like in years like in previous formats, the deck that was like the most slow and degenerate would actually struggle a lot into the fast decks. That would be the trade-off.
Yeah, he's kind of. I see what you mean.
Really deadly.
He's kind of got. He plays this really good sort of challenge into aggro decks, and he doesn't have to compromise on just going, okay, and then I'll just immediately slow down, and I'm also just going to peek at that. Okay. Now, one of the things I suppose that I'm thinking of is we are approaching a ProQuest season. Is this sort of change for Germinate a thing that a regular player, not to be sort of rude, but a regular player who goes to a ProQuest, are they going to experience this Germinate quite as hard as players that will probably go to Worlds, and they, you guys are just thinking many turns ahead, and you've got to be in that way of thinking when you're playing stuff like Gravy and so on. I can see your thought processes if you're going to face off against the best players in the world. This is the sort of thinking you're thinking of. But for a ProQuest, is that something really that's going to be Germinate changes everything? I don't think so as that regular player. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure it's good, but
I mean, this is maybe a slightly blunt way of putting it, and maybe a bit kind of. But I don't think the Germinate endgame stuff is the type of like super, because I think like maybe stuff like Kano stacking is something that's like theoretically quite a good endgame. but you don't always see the Kanos pull it off.
Yeah.
But I think this like germinate thing, we could. I don't have a crystal ball, but we could end up in a format where Florian is a reasonably easily accessible deck for people to pick up that then does feel quite crushing just because
it's
like
easier to do the
block all your
thing.
cards
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
have Arsenal Germinate, and then the next turn pitch for Blues play Germinate. I think it'll be really interesting how this meta develops because the BNR is definitely in conversation with the next set, which we don't have yet. I mean, there's only one event that's going to be this format without the new heroes, and it's possible stuff like Toughnut with Rock will be that next step of the slower decks, or something else in the set we're not thinking of.
Yeah, that's true. Well, again, I think that these bans are significant enough for me to sort of bring this up because normally I look at these BNRs and go, well, it doesn't really matter because this new set is coming out. But these heroes that they've messed around with are like still very much here, still very much probably going to dictate what's going to happen in Worlds and Pro Quests, even after Super Slam comes out. That it's even with these new stuff coming out, I don't think that Florian's going to go, oh no, Tough Nuts here. No, we're still doing our thing. Gravy's still doing his thing. Slippy's still going to do his thing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, okay. I didn't even think about Germinate too much, to be honest.
So data's not everything, of course, but Fab Blazing's got some good data tools. And if you look at the last 3 callings this month, Florian had a 48% win rate with a 0% match win rate into Gravy, which was the most often like the most popular or the best performing deck at these tournaments.
Yeah.
And so to be that close to even, being literally 0% into the best deck in the room, I think now.
Okay.
Or I would argue at least.
Okay.
I think he has the potential to be really powerful.
Okay.
Is the concern.
Well, I think is it fair to just continue this conversation about Gravy now? Because really, that's a big deal. These red and yellow tipples, even mooks like me can look at this and go, yeah, that's pretty hardcore. But my gut feeling tells me this ain't over for him. I still think he's going to rock and roll. But Jacob, like, is this the death nail for Gravy, or is he still rock and rolling?
I think he could end up in a spot more akin to where illusionists usually, not even illusionists, but where illusionists usually are in the meta, where they have like very good matchups and very bad matchups. Because the tipples lose him a lot of explosivity, but in matchups where he gets a lot of time, he will still end up doing most of the powerful things he used to do. And so rather than being like, completely crushing into the slow decks and then still having a pretty decent shot into the fast decks, he'll probably be like almost as crushing into the slow decks, but then like quite bad, like very unlikely to win into the fast decks, which will move him from being like the de facto best deck to being like a meta check or like a meta pick. Yeah. Where illusions have often sat.
Yeah. No, that was also really my thoughts as well. Bartosz, what's your thoughts on the tipples?
I agree with that assessment. Basically, as Jacob said, like your good matchups will still be good, but your bad matchups, so Syndra, for example, will get pretty nasty. Maybe we'll figure something out. People will figure something out how to tackle the aggro matchups, but tipples were the thing that allowed you to try to outrace or keep up with aggro decks like Syndra because of the gold generation and consistency they added to the deck and ability to fuel your graveyard, because right now with not so much gold generation left, because we basically are like got our gold generation cut in half if you count Portside Exchange as a 10th, 11th, and 12th copy of Golden Tipple. So it's a huge hit, especially in the matchups when you have to find your gold generation and discard outlets quickly. So the aggro matchups.
I think there's also going to be a big thing where it's like, so I've played a couple of games like trying to post ban, and I've been hard casting allies from hand more often because it's harder to get them in bin. And then you just feel very polarized between matchups where that's like still basically fine and matchups where you instantly die for doing that.
Yeah. What card's that again? Sorry. But hard casting what?
Just like playing typical, but not allies. Just like when you have an ally in your hand, you don't have a way to discard it, so you just end up like
you just play it,
like pitching an ally to play a Sorbans,
yeah.
and then it doesn't go again.
Yeah.
I just went hard, like.
Yeah, you just went, okay, what will happen if I just play it? You know, I don't have the means to discard it. I just play it. Okay, here you go, your turn, and then you go.
And then into like a Florian or a Verdance, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because they still like spend the whole time killing it. But into like a Syndra,
yeah,
you die.
Okay, so it is. I felt very much the same thing without playing it. That I think that he is. I also think that he's gonna just, you know, be the he's just a bully. He's just the classic illusionist bully. Oh, you can't. And it's interesting to see whether people will still, you know, like an illusionist, they still bring them, and you're like, oh, okay, can you actually still play these decks? Because you can't, because this illusionist exists. You know the old Prism days of you can't play Bravo, like Prism exists, even though Bravo could do these things. You can't because Prism exists. But then, is she going to be relevant or not? Who knows? Now, Bonds of Agony, and I suppose we'll talk about Bonds of Agony, but all these other heroes have also got kind of, and I suppose really talking about Florian getting Germinate back, Gravy lost some points. He's upped up everyone else, and do these other people that got upped up challenge the decks that would have attacked Gravy? So now they're going down, which will then bring Gravy up because he's going to be doing good against the decks that do you know what I mean? Does Gravy just somehow get raised because his good matchups also get raised against his bad matchups? That's what I'm intrigued to see. Like that's I don't know whether that's something you guys have.
It's hard to say how the meta shapes up, especially with the new cards that we have yet to see and the new heroes.
Yeah,
Brutes and Guardians,
classic, very good Gravy combatants.
Exactly.
But also 30 some expansion slots. So
yes, very true. There is a lot of expansion slots coming for lots of different people for sure. Also, we talked a bit about Florian, but Verdant's getting. Oh, I did talk about. I will talk about Bonds of Agony in a minute, but since we're still talking about Earth Heroes, Plume of Evergrowth getting shot. That is, I played a bit of Verdance. I think it is a bit of a shot, but I don't think it's a but I don't think it's a killer. For sure, I don't think it's a killer.
They were already like switching it with cops so they could play mental block in the fast matchups.
Yeah.
So it was already less of a like core identity and more of a tool for slower matchups.
But we've lost the slower
matchups are becoming more. Well, I think some of the slow matchups are going to become more relevant, like Florian. But slow matchups, you typically can afford to have slower plans into. So if your Plume forces you to run, like several more sideboard slots to execute some kind of combo or evergreen win, they might be just fine with that.
Yeah, I think it's just about. I think a good player of Verdance will find an out rather than having it given to you, which a lot of the a player like myself, a non-pro player, will lean on the Plume of Evergrowth to go, you know what, I've always just got an out. I've got it. It's here. It feels easy. I don't have to. It's not too much big brain planning going on. But I still think a pro player will go, yeah, if I put if I've got to play a slow matchup and I've got to put a life rampant growth in Arsenal, I've I know when the next one's coming. I can do this still big turn. It's just, you know, I've got to Kano it a little bit. You know what I mean? I've got to plan this a little bit further rather than just, I'll just leave that there. I'll wait until the other one comes up and we'll see where we go. And even then, I still think Verdance is going to be fine because that new card she's going to get is
It seems like more of a swap in and out in her toolkit where they've given her this new Earthburn Bear, and then they've been like, oh, you can't have the Earthburn Bear and Fling.
Yes.
But that's probably a happy trade for Verdance.
It was a bit good. I was saying, I think if they don't actually deal with that, I was like, I think she might if Gravy does get nerfed, and it was kind of not surprising he would, I was a bit like, I think she could quite literally be the best deck at this point.
Yeah, and I mean,
Could be
to the point of the stats, Verdance was actually on a positive win rate, even with atrocious Gravy matchup in the call-ins last month.
Yeah.
So I think Verdance was and still is quite scary.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Bartosz, with their plume?
Well, to be honest, I don't think it matters. As Jacob mentioned, most of the time you prefer to bring Crown of Providence because of how good mental block is into most of the matchups, so you kind of don't mind. And with the new Earth card, you probably don't need the healing potion setup for the end game to win against fatigue decks. If you would ever run out of threats, you can play So Tomorrows to bring back the new 6 arcane Earth spell to the bottom of your deck and play them over again. It's not an issue. You can get them back with Everbloom. Like, you can probably play 9 to 12 6 arcane shots to your opponent's face. So like,
and they can't
I think that's good. That's good enough to kill everybody. So I don't think the Everbloom, Bloom of Evergrove's ban gonna matter that much.
Fair dues. Well, Silken one that is pretty. I think is a big deal. Bonds of Agony. I was actually like, oh, thank God, I hate that card. I hate that card. And I've played against you, Jacob, and I've seen you in many of my local events play Bonds of Agony in many ProQuest and RTNs, and it's as new. It's gross, bro. It's a gross card. But I'll start with you, Jacob, since you've played. I don't know if you played a lot of Assassins, Bartosz. I should know. All right, Jacob.
Actually, I would say I think Bonds is funny because both Slippy and New are kind of gross with it in a way that like other Assassins weren't. New having masks, so she could punish blocking by like going around it and taking a card, and then Slippy you can punish with the go again and go around.
Yeah.
And like just play the next link. I mean, I've gotten to a point against Bonds of Agony where I would just like snipe no blocks it most of the time and just be like,
yeah,
take a card.
That's what I do. I look at it and stare at my hand for so long. I went, oh, I give up. You just do it. Just do it. You know, you win. But
and then with Slippy, sometimes it's beautiful, and they look at you and they go, oh,
I can't do it.
Yeah, you can take one.
Yeah, you got me, bro. You soured me.
Cashy taught me this. He just plays with Bonds of Agony. He's like blue wounded bull of wounding blow, the 0 for 2.
Yeah.
He's marionettes, so I'm marked and it's coming in for 2, and I'm like, take 2.
Yeah. All right, but it's gone. How much of an impact is this on Slippy?
To be honest, it doesn't feel like much. Like, the deck is so good already because how consistent it is. All the cards block 3. You have all the potent assassin's threats. It makes Take Up the Mantle much worse because Bonds of Agony was your main target of Take Up the Mantle. Like, probably 90% of the time, that was the reason you were playing the card. So maybe Take Up the Mantle will also go down in copies in the deck because of that. But I think the deck's matchups are still solid. It's not like you lost one of your big cards, but don't think it should matter because the deck is so good anyway.
Yeah.
And as Jacob has mentioned, the issue with Bonds of Agony is because how abusive, how both Sleepy and New could abuse the card. And by itself, the card is really strong, but I don't think it would be an issue if only Mario would be the assassin that could play the card.
Yeah.
Or Azuri.
Or Rosary.
Oh yeah. Or Azuri. You know.
Or Azuri.
Oh, Azuri.
And if you think Azuri uses the card problematically,
Come on.
look, if an Azuri wants to flip in a Ravenous Rabble to have go again after I overblock, I think they earned it.
Yeah. Look, right, Azuri and Fi are these two heroes that are gone. Look, we've got Pro Tour cards and who are you? Right, okay,
Indeed.
so
on a serious note, though,
yeah.
to what Bartosz was saying, I have a slightly funny prediction or vision for the future, and I don't know if it'll come true. Where this is kind of like when Starstruck gets unrestricted in Starvo, and then people like stop playing it altogether because they're like, they're like, was this even the right way to be building the deck in the first place?
Yes.
Where if Bonds of Agony goes, it's possible that Justinic and Take Up the Mantle go out of the decks as well, and then the deck just like only runs the consistently good cards. And then the deck like stops bricking on these awkward hands where you draw like Nick and no blue stealth you want to play, and doesn't draw like Mantle while they're not marked, and just like actually only draws good cards.
Right. Yeah.
And then the decks might like maybe not better, but I think they might move from strength to strength, where it was like kind of encouraging you to play these like variants.
Yeah,
cards.
and it doesn't. The thing is that you're definitely going to be right, and at the same time, it won't feel for the opponent as bad, because when I see it, you do go, "Oh, this blows." It just is.
I think it's a very good
fun. It's only fun for you. This is not fun. This is not fun for me. But if you show it with any other stealth card, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, you know, it's not. Yeah, you're going to get some good value out of this, I'm pretty sure. But it's not going to be, by the way, you're not playing. I'm like, okay, right, you know, I don't want that. I don't want them to rip my good cards I happen to draw in my hand. And that turn, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, come on, man. I'm not even having fun. I can't play my deck. You know, I think you're probably going to be right. And it would be cool. He's actually better, and we actually like it. The opponent's like, this is not that bad. I died, but I'm happy I died this way.
Yeah, they might say that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure if
maybe.
they say that, but they might.
I'm trying to think.
Wouldn't that be nice if they did?
I'm trying to think what else got actually. Those are the three big things that actually popped into my head. I can see that you're looking at the screen, Bartosz. So remind me, what else got banned?
Talk a big game got banned.
Oh yeah. Well,
I've heard a good theory for this one.
Yeah, go for it.
LSS were ticked off. People weren't naming big enough numbers. They're just naming like 2 or 3. Cowards.
Yeah.
It's not talk a medium game.
Yeah, it's talk a
big game. We weren't doing it right, and now it's gone.
I would be intrigued to see what it is, if that makes sense. Or maybe it's just more of like, you know,
it'll definitely be interesting to see, because they made the comparison to Needle's Ira, and to be honest, either way, it'll be interesting to see if this would have been like Needles or not.
Yeah, I read that more as, I don't think this is they're taking it as the power level is the same, but I think they were using the reference of it to go, remember when we did it before we did it and you liked it?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But I think,
no, of course. But I think it'd be interesting.
I don't know, man. I felt like for a bit, if it was that strong, I would be kind of being like, man, I feel a bit sorry for Guardian and Brute. They get one good thing and you're like, no. And you're like, oh, come on. Let these guys have, you kept Tipple in there for so long. Just let him have one go around. Or maybe it is that stupid. Who knows?
We'll see.
With the confidence token that Pleiades can make, that your opponent can block with cards. Right, and also with Liat, being able to intimidate your whole hand, play out like 4 palms, and send you 6 card 12, like 15 intimidate 3 cards off of your hand. Then I could see that card being able to break the numbers.
Yeah, so I hit you for this number. I think you're gonna deal this much or more. Okay. you know, you can literally map out, I've only got this much equipment block. So I give you that.
Yeah.
You did it. Cool. I've just got that much back, baby. And we just again. You know, yeah. Maybe. But I think that would have been
Especially
cool.
because,
And then ban it.
I mean, we'll have to see how broken it would have been. But both heroes have a combination of like evasive damage and banking like value from multiple turns into one attack,
Yes.
which could feel like it could have been crazy.
Could have been
It could be
crazy.
problematic.
Yeah. I think that's it, isn't it, for the ban and restricted announcement? So overall.
Oh, and unless you care about doing LL.
Oh no!
LL
Yes, no.
changes.
Actually, yeah. Ah, yes. I'm
All
very
right,
happy.
Yeah, I feel like you would
was
be happy about this one.
I was literally like this. Oh, I'm back, baby. Even though
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to still beat you in a semi-final at the Battle Harden.
Was-
I'm not even gonna lie.
Still no Cull, still no Succumb, still no Husk, but we got our Dirge.
Yeah. Bro. I'm gonna tell you this now. I think you drew silly hot against my game. I was like, oh, come on, man. Everyone else was sitting there going, I'm going to block you out. And Jacob went, I'm just going to relentlessly just throw cards at you. I'm like, oh, no one was doing that all day.
Did I cast any Red Bull Lightnings against you? Because I think I might have been the only Starvo bringing all these Red Bull Lightnings.
Yeah.
But they were bangers.
They were bangers. I was sitting there going, do you mind not hitting me? I want to be the attacker. It works when I attack. It doesn't work when I block. Oh well. But
against Rob, he had his double Art of War turn in my quarters, and he's at 14. He's like, how's he going to take 2 cards from me? I'm at 14. You're like fused with a Red Bull Lightning and a Felling. He's like, oh, that's 14 damage, and I'm already losing a card to the Felling. So I guess I did have to block this turn.
Yeah, no, that ball lightning just brought me back PTSDs of Tales of Aria days. Ugh. But yeah, so my thoughts I'm happy purely because I'm actually like, I think Viserai, which I don't think is actually really a deck for LL. I don't think he's a deck for LL, although I keep dreaming. And I just, Chain did get a little bit hit too hard. It's not like the Cole was reasonable. Like that was.
I mean, Chain, even in his form without dirges, was like 2 of the top 8 of this Battle Hardened this weekend and made finals.
Oh, did he?
So it's not like he was. Yeah, Evan Herndon. I don't think he's done anything good recently.
The shade.
I don't think he's done anything good recently.
He's all right.
Like nothing. Not European cooling, that's for sure.
Oh, that don't count then. No. But yeah,
I mean, these American coolings. Yeah, I maybe won one of those. How would I know?
Easy.
But
no, but
anyway,
it was classic Chain. It was classic Chain. It was sure, yeah. And that,
it was classic Chain.
And classic Chain won Battle Hard in London with all the power that this RuneGate Chain deck that I played, and Rob Catton and Cody, we were all in it.
Yeah.
And it was won by a classic Chain, and you played him, so I'm sure it still does Chain things.
Yeah. Yeah, Chain's a really interesting combination of being very, very like able to defend and go long, despite I mean, his durability offers some tension in that regard, but he's a very versatile and interesting deck.
Yeah.
And this is another tool for him to use, and being able to destroy your shackles, so interesting.
Yeah, very happy. Thank you, LSS. Just give us back Husk. You know, what can go wrong? You know, it's not that bad.
They have to give me Crown of Seeds if they do that. That's all I'm saying. I played this LL Battle Hardened with no Crown of Seeds, and let me tell you, you can't arsenal many of Starvo's cards.
That's true.
Most of them,
you didn't even
they don't go in there.
I think it's this Living Legend ban restricted is worth talking about, and I love it, and it's worth talking about because of Worlds. So, what is your thoughts, Bartosz, with the Worlds event being no draft and CC and LL?
I didn't ever mind playing draft, so it's basically not not affecting me that much. But I know a lot of people that hated playing draft for some reason, so they're probably really happy with only the inclusion of constructed formats.
Yeah.
For example, yeah. Uh, I like that LSS is experimenting with the formats that we are playing on bigger tournaments, and especially following up to them experimenting with stuff is that we are getting the best of three top eight.
Mm.
That's really cool, especially in the mixed format. It fits in really well. Also, that additional line of text that you will be choosing which format to play in the case of one in the case of a tie from the best of two. I really like the idea, and I hope they will experiment more in the future. Maybe we'll be able to play both, like not both, like CC, LL, and draft in the for the future words,
Mm.
and be able to still have the best of three format for the top eight.
Mm.
I'm only concerned how will they make it so that all the games are streamed and we don't finish on Monday 11 p.m.
It's not. It's clear logistically. It's not. Let's be real. It's going to be just kind of like a calling when you go.
Yeah,
Did you see the top eight? And
probably.
you see the semi-final, then you see the final.
I kind of hope they might do a thing where they have like two, because they often have two streaming setups.
Mm.
They might capture all the games on stream, and then on the day you don't get to see every match, but they're all recorded, and so then like they're all watchable on YouTube. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And there may be like a main stream and a side stream, and then you have like two quarters, one on each. Like, so then there's like on the mainstream, from your point of view, you'd see two quarterfinals, and the other two would run on the side, or just be like recorded to be posted later. And then the two semis could happen simultaneously, and then finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that.
There's a lot they can do.
Hire me, LSS.
Yeah. That's
I'm just saying. I worked it out for you.
Yeah, Ethan. Jacob's.
Ethan?
You probably not even thought about.
I'm not asking for the job. I'm asking Ethan's superiors to give me his job.
Yeah. There we go. See, easy as that. But no, what's your thoughts, Jacob, on it? No draft, LL.
I really like to. I mean, Bartosz, to your point, how every Worlds they've had something experimental or like pushing the envelope. Like the first Worlds, 3 formats. The second Worlds, we had the first ever LL Battle Hardened.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third Worlds, we had the Team Cup they're trying out. And now this Worlds, they're trying this. They're always pushing the envelope. There's always something interesting and special at Worlds. And that's really good. I think it's really cool that in the past, it's felt a bit like, you got to show, like, especially at Worlds 1, where it's like, you got to show mastery in all 3 formats. But then it's like, well, but then in top 8, it is only CC. And like, and this is in no way shade at Rob Catton, but I do just love this fact that Rob was undefeated in CC, undefeated in draft, and then 1-4 in Blitz to make top 8.
Yeah.
And I was just praying for him to win, both fellow countrymen, but also I was like, the post where it's mastery in all 3 formats, 1-4 in Blitz, undefeated in the other 2. It's like that is a world champion record, but undefeated 2 out of 3, 1-4.
I mean,
5 back-to-back win-ins, and then you lose the first 4 in Blitz.
Spooky moments. But I know what you mean for the bands. That's quite funny. But
yeah, for the bands. And then this top 8 thing with the the higher seed chooses format or first second, and then the other person gets to choose the other. I think it's so cool. The strategic implications of that are going to be like, I hope it doesn't get like missed. They have some cool graphic. I mean, again, I've already got Ethan's job. They text me just now. So there's going to be this like cool graphic that'll like show like who decided, like, in all the decision trees and that. And there's casters will be able to break it down, and we'll see the players do it. And we'll have like a play-by-play before the match of like how they're choosing and how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is probably going to be the time where I feel like the team camaraderie thing comes together a little bit, of where you get in the huddle. You're like, right, what am I choosing first? How am I going to sort of go about this? And do you know what I mean? And then I know that you're not going to be able to do this out of each round because of time and stuff. But once you finish a game, you're going to go, right, okay, am I going to get a minute or are you going to turn around and go, right, bang, next game, set up, go.
Yeah.
Do you have a second to think? Or not? I think there's going to be something, right, where someone's going to turn around and say, "Oh, this could have been there." And you're like, okay, but I would rather that you continue, try. Don't just sort of go, "Oh, well, we had some complaints about this. Could have been this and could have been that. We're just going to never do it again." You're like, no. I think this is awesome. I think this is genuinely awesome. And I think as a viewer, because I'm not going to be going to I assume you both are going to go to Montreal. Yeah? I'm not.
No.
And this is going to be the most exciting major event ever, because for you guys playing draft, I get it. I play draft. I play draft at nationals, and I see the appeal. It is a very skill-intensive game. There's a lot of this and that. But when you're watching it as a viewer, and I don't know if you guys ever watched a draft, and maybe you have, and it is there's some things that are definitely interesting about it. But for me, I don't know, man. It's not. I like to see people's decks. I like to see people play these decks really well, because I guess what I can do, I can buy that deck. I can buy that, play that, because I like that. But with draft, there's nothing I can do about the deck you've just made. I'm rooting for you as a great player. The most interesting thing about draft is the picky bit, watching them pick it. You go, oh yeah, that's interesting. But I'll never be able to play that deck. You know what I mean? But
it's also it's unique every time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not. Yeah.
And we kind of get a bit bound by, this is why CC is so much watched. Like, I don't know about you. Do you prefer watching the CC portion of a stream or the draft portion of the stream?
CC always.
CC always.
Also, the issue with draft streams is also that they are only shown at the beginning of the format whenever no one knows what's going on, because it's at the world premiere, or at the end whenever no one cares, because that's the last time we'll see it. So there's no merit to watching the draft games to learn something from them other than just seeing how the players perform in that format.
Yeah.
And with CC, you see the heroes, what the new techs are, how to play the certain matchup, so you can learn from those games and then apply it. And as you mentioned, buy that deck.
Yeah, and it makes the Living Legend format just to me a little bit more like, yeah, this is cool. Not only do I have to sort of feel like I've got to keep an eye on CC, what if I just don't like the format? I love Flesh and Blood. I really am not a massive fan of this CC format right now. I tell you what, Living Legend's looking pretty cool. You know what I mean? And it's another. Yeah. I can still just buy in to a deck. I can still create the deck and muck about, and it's just different. And that's what I learned from playing the Battle Hardened from Chain. I turned around and went, I feel like I've just discovered the game again. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just not.
And some nostalgia for some of the heroes that have been and gone. I'm really excited for this coming season, where all the Battle Hardens attached to the coolings are going to be LL.
Yes.
It'll be really interesting.
I actually want to watch them. I think people are going to go, I want to see what this Living Legend is more about now. Although, Zen's looking a bit good. Zen's just looking a little bit good. I don't know. Here's the thing.
I don't know. Stalagmite pretty good against them.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, have you guys been, since it's been announced, actually locking in with LL now? I mean, you got it right. It's not. It's a weird thing where this draft format for Super Slam's coming out, and you go in. Cool, I guess. Living Legend. This is where it's. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I was always terrorizing my locals with Zen in Living Legend.
Told you, Jacob.
During the skirmishes. I'm not so sure if it will be the deck I will choose for the wars, but I like Zen a lot, and he's never getting hit in any of those banned and restricted announcements, so maybe there's something to explore there.
Yeah.
Especially with the Zephyr Needles. I was kind of expecting them to do something about Zephyr needles because of how oppressive they are in both in Ira and Zen. Like Zen can play the same package as Ira does with retrieving the daggers, and it fixes some of your matchups. Like I was sure that I will not be able to compete against Icelander, but then I've put in all the upsticks and runs and plunder and the pickups. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, up sticks and run and
Pick up the point.
Pick up the points, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like swinging with needles, keeping a blue in my hand, and Icelander couldn't do anything. Like the matchup I was expecting to be losing because of hypothermia coming back, Channel Blink expands being a thing. With Zephyr Needles, it was so easy and so awful for my opponent because I was on free AB and Kasaya getting some free resources every now and then, and just swinging with needles and poking them to death. If they broke one of my needles, I got it back later. Like no issues at all.
True. I'd still. My gut feeling tells me that it's still so much to explore. Like I think a lot of people are going to gravitate to this Zephyr point. Like I agree with you, but I still think there is quite a scope of but there's so much potential. There's so much still out there, and it could all still be garbage. Do you know what I mean?
Lilac CYB.
Well, yeah, but but in CC the scope isn't that. Like even with this new bans and restrictor announcements and the new set coming out, yes, there's going to be some new things, but the scope doesn't feel as vast as LL. Do you know what I mean? Where you literally can go, Christ, there is quite a lot. Like when I was playing my Battle Hardened, I actually think Dromai is way better than she should be. When I was playing against her as Chain, I won, but it was spooky. It was quite spooky, and I still think there is something there. Like, for example, I'm not trying to make this as a point against Zen, because I think Zen will be able to tackle that fairly well, but...
Well, to be honest, I played a game against Dromai with Zen, and it was pretty spooky at some point.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's still spooky. You still got some stuff that you're like, oh god, actually, this could go horribly wrong really quickly. The only thing I've got is the fact that I've got Rune Chant, and you got Reds. That's my out. Other than that, there's a lot of dragons.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jacob, your thoughts on the
I think
scope?
there's something very interesting about playing a format where the power level is just like a bit higher base.
Yeah.
Like there's something this is now a couple of years ago, but the like Hamilton like value maths thing where it's like all the cards are worth 3.
Yeah.
And then it's like playing LL, it just feels like all the cards are worth 4. Like Briar is this like kind of baseline, quite fair deck that does like quite reasonable things most of the time, with the idea that all your cards are just worth 4 and that's your edge.
Mm.
And then like her being like, and then everyone being sillier than her. So like I was at this Orlando Battle Hardened this weekend, or like the weekend just gone. There was LL, and there were a lot of Briars, and none of them made top 8. And they're just like watching the games. They just have these hands where, like, with an embodiment, they like block a card for 4, and they like play it, and then they like play 3-0 for 4s on their turn, and they just be like, it felt like every deck that had come to the room had a plan to be better than that, and it just made me so like excited.
Yeah.
That we were playing a format where the baseline is so high,
and it's still Chain. I'm still waiting for it. It's still gonna be. Yeah, we figured it out.
Could be. Honestly, it could be. I think it's a very open format. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But then also there's like been some stuff to adjust, because for a while it felt like when it was just the Battle Harden at the tier 4s, you'd like play the LL Battle Harden, and then someone would just like combo you out of nowhere, and you'd be like, it's LL. This is what I signed up for. Yes. And then as they're making it a more serious competitive format, it's like, you can't really have it be the format where you just get like blown up out of nowhere and be like, this is what I signed up for. Because it's like, well, you made this the format for Worlds.
Yeah.
It can't be just, you got to make it fair now. And like tackling floodgates, and then I don't know if maybe they need to tap Dash.io or maybe they need to do something else, but it feels like they're touching it up nicely towards being in a spot where where it is this like open format where the power level is higher, but there's interaction. Like bringing the ice cards back that are good felt good for this as well. And it's like it's not just that everyone's trying to combo off and blow you up. Actually, like this is the real format, just the power levels
I think
higher. And I'm really excited.
that you're right. I think that the one thing that's keeping this thing interesting is that vision of the scope of everything. And I don't think everyone has come to the agreement of the best thing yet. And now, it like you said, it felt like maybe that Battle Harden was going, here's Briar. It's got to be Briar. And it wasn't. It was this.
Yeah.
It's that. And someone else goes, well, if it's not that, I think it's this. Then someone else is going to... And every game I played in my Battle Harden, again, it was a different thing, but all these top players had an opinion on... I think it's Lexi. No, I think it's Dromai. I think it's Zen. I think it's Briar. I think it's Starvo and Chain. You know, no one could agree. And it was all, unless you were playing Chain or Starvo, you were wrong. That was in that game, in that format. But now, I don't know. Again, it still just feels like, even with Chain being that silly, I was still like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe it's that feeling of I don't think this is the best thing since sliced bread. And I think a lot of you will just come to a different conclusion. And you how would you know that your really good deck that you think is going to tackle what you think the meta is actually going to do when another whole team is just come up with something that you're like, oh, what the hell is this? But they just, you know what I mean? I think people are just going to get blown out. And at the end of it, I still think at the end of Worlds, and maybe I'm being very optimistic, I still think everyone's going to go, I don't know what the best deck was. Like, still, there's so many stupid stuff from so many heroes. I still can't pin down what it was.
It'll be interesting how the PQ season into it affects it as well. But yeah, I think we could still be. I think, or I hope Worlds would just kind of be the like starting point.
Yes, the full proper. You know, it's here. Let's do it. Let's go. But are you sad that you're not? I've seen some people put some tweets out there about draft not being in it. You guys are the competitors. You're the players of that in this Super Slam arena that we're all going to be rooting for. You're very much used to doing draft. It's no longer there. Are you happier or indifferent or sad? Bartosz is indifferent.
I'm
indifferent. Like whatever they throw at us, we'll try to solve it and play to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
That's my feeling as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, especially with what we're saying about how Worlds has always had something different or something they're trying out. Like maybe if a year from now there's like not ever been a draft event, I'll like start to be like, oh man, like draft was also good. But for one event, I think they should feel, you know, throw whatever you want at us. Make us do a pro tour that's a week after set release. Do like a Worlds that's like, you know, 3 formats again, but it's the 3 constructed formats. Like, don't just do things, do different things, because the point is to test people. Every event is actually a completely different game, because you know, like there's a different set and there's different heroes in and there's different heroes out. Like the game's constantly different, and I think it's great if they're making it more different.
Yeah, 100%. I think for as well, it's that first time where the Worlds event, and like you said, Jacob, there has been different formats. The only thing that's been very different from Worlds is the very first one, when we had that proper mixed format. But then every other Worlds after that, they did the Battle Hards and stuff, but the actual Worlds event, it's kind of another PT.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is another PT. And
the last 2 Worlds have been themselves just another PC. And so I'm excited for them not to be.
It's not. I know it's not, but the format.
No. I take your point. It is correct.
Yeah, but I like the fact that this, you know, when you tell me to go, I want a major event with draft, and you're like, you got 2. It's called Pro Tours. You know, they are tried, tested, and true. You got your CC formats, you got your draft formats. Go ham. The Worlds, it's just different. And it's only one a year.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also wouldn't mind if Pro Tours were different. They run back a New Jersey style Pro Tour, where it's just CC,
Oh,
just like 15 rounds of CC. That'd be interesting. Where they run like, I just think they should lean into the fact that TCGs by nature, every big tournament is actually like a totally different challenge to like adapt to what's being offered. And usually it's the same structure, but it's just a different set. But pushing the scope on that. And I mean, in this BNR article in the philosophy, they talk about kind of viewing TCGs more in like a live service game model where they'll make changes and they'll ban things, even if it's not like totally unplayable, just because it's like constantly like moving it into like a healthier or better state. And I think leaning more into that live service game model with different worlds formats, different whatever. I don't know. I'm just excited.
yeah.
I want them to throw different stuff at us and try and adapt to it.
And I'm definitely sure they will. Right, lads, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. I was really, again, loved it. I love talking to you guys. Very insightful. And I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks very much, guys.